My name's Linda, and we are going to do a Zoom today, and we're going to make some gnomes. So I love gnomes. I think Amber does too. So this is what these little guys are going to look like when we're finished. Little crazy beards. Here's another one. So if you could get your kit together and bring it out, pull it out of the bag, put it on your work surface. And we also need a glue gun, some newspaper, a pen or permanent pen, and what else did we need? Scissors. So if you get those things out, then we can work together. So your kit, I'm going to turn this camera so that you can see my workspace. So your kit should include enough to make 2 gnomes. So you'll be making this guy and this guy basically, but possibly in different colors. So here we go. You have a pattern and you need scissors, you need your pens, you've got all your things for your kit, you've got your glue gun plugged in with extra glue. And I did get some extra glue. Where did I put it? See that? We need to get our kits together. Thank goodness for editors. Thank you, thank you, thank you for editing and making this look fabulous. Sorry. Okay, and we have our glue. So I've got a couple of extra sticks of glue and scissors, and I think we're all set. So the first thing that I would suggest we do is cut out our patterns. So if you take your patterns and then just cut these out of the paper, and the magic of Zoom, this is not Zoom, or this is not TV, the magic of TV, the magic of Zoom is I have mine already cut out. So I've got 4 little patterns. One has an A on it, I believe. So these are hats and these are going to be your beards. And while you're cutting that out, I'm going to do the next step, which is I take my felt or my material and I'm going to place a pattern on here, and I'm going to use my permanent marker and I'm going to trace it out. You can cut it just holding the paper on the felt, but I find this is a much easier way of doing it. So I now have my pattern drawn on my felt or my fabric, and then I can cut it out a little bit more easily. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut along the line. And if you have felt with dots on it, I like those little dots at the top. I find they give it a little bit of a pattern. And I'm just cutting out the felt with normal regular scissors. These look funny. They're florist scissors. I used to work at a florist many, many years ago, so they're funny. But that was so the stem would stay in there while we cut it. So I have the hat cut out, and then I'm going to glue it together. I like to glue these hats together first. I have a piece of jute that I'm going to use as the hanger. You might have a piece of ribbon. So I'm just going to cut it to the length that I think I need. And you'll see that they have little bits of ribbon at the top so that you can hang them on the Christmas tree. So I'm going to fold the jute in half so that it's all ready to go. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put the marker inside so we don't see it. And I'm going to roll it around like this so that we get a little hat. Once I've done that, I'm going to take the glue gun and I'm going to put a line up here with the glue. And I'm going to put a dab of glue at the top because this is where I'm going to put this jute. I'm going to place the jute down and just kind of wiggle it in that glue. And then I'm going to roll the hat. And I'm going to start at the bottom and overlap the felt really carefully so that I've got a nice round, three-dimensional hat. And then when this comes together, just squeeze it together. So that it's going to hang really nicely. And I've got glue everywhere already. It doesn't take long, does it? So then I'm going to take the fur that comes with your kit and try and determine which way the fur goes. On this fur, it goes this way. So that's the way I want the fur to go for my little snowman or my little gnome. I want the fur to go down. You don't want the fur going up because that would look kind of funny. You want it growing down. So my fur goes this way. So this will be the top where the hat is. And then this is the way the fur is falling. So I want to turn it over and I'm going to pick the larger of the two. So this was your pattern A. So it's a larger hat. And this is the larger beard. And I'm going to lie it down so that it's like this. So the beard comes down and those two straight lines are at the top. And this is the way the fur falls. And I'm going to draw this on my fur on the back. Now here's a trick to cutting fur. Oftentimes people will take this fur and they'll start cutting and then you cut all of this really nice fur off. So what I like to do is I like to cut it by just pushing the point of the scissors through and cutting this way. So that I'm really not cutting the fur, I'm just cutting the very back of the material. So again, I'm going to lie it down. Maybe you can see it this way. I'm just going to push my scissors up in here like so, so that I'm going in between the fur at the back, and then I'm just going to cut. And it might be easier for me just to do it this way. And I'm keeping the scissors to the bottom up against the material right here. I hope I'm making sense. And this way, see when I pull that away, you can see the fur is still attached and you won't see the material. And that's sort of the goal. And then I'll do the other side. And I'll try and keep the fur part, the scissors towards the material at all times. And just snip all the way down to the point. I cut a lot of material the other day. These might be getting dull, a lot of fur. There we go. So there is my gnome beard. And then I'm just going to see if it fits, because if it doesn't fit, I can always cut it, but actually it fits quite well. So you can trim the ends if it doesn't fit, but I like him. I love him already. Okay, so now we're going to glue this into the hat. So what I like to do is I like to just hold it like this, and I like to just glue these together with just a little dab of glue so that this stays together while I'm working on the piece. And then I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to place a little line of glue just in the front of the hat on the inside. And then I'm going to take this beard and I'm going to glue it onto the top of the beard. Give it a minute to dry. Or cool down, I guess it would be, with their glue guns. You can see this is a well-made, well-used glue gun. Then I'm going to go inside. So I just open it up and I'm going to put some glue on the inside. If you find you want to put some stuffing inside the hat to keep it open, now's the time to do it. You can do that if you'd like. I just plop a little bit of stuffing in there and then glue a line of glue, and you can do this in sections. And then I'm just going to fold it down, open this up, and plop the hat down. So now I've still got that nice round hat, three-dimensional, and I'm just putting my thumb inside and pushing the felt onto the fur. I've got fur stuck all over my fingers now. And there we go. That's looking like a gnome already. A gnome, if we had white fur, it would look like a Santa, wouldn't it? With a red hat. Now, if you like that beard that shape, you can leave it that shape. You can make it shorter if you want. I've got these little guys with short beards. I've got this fellow with a really long beard. I love a variety. So I've got this guy, little fat. And see how the hat goes down? So you don't have to always do the hat the same way. You could do them differently. They don't always have to be green. They can do them any color. So once this has cooled enough that you can touch it, oh, mine's still a little bit wet. I put a lot of glue on there apparently. But you can play with the fur. And the next thing we're going to do is put the little nose, which is a little red or the little pink bead that you've got. And I like to separate a little bit of the fur. And you can actually see here, I've almost kind of twisted this into a mustache. And you can even use hairspray to keep that like that. Can you see the little mustache? So with this guy, I'm going to find the center of his beard. So I'm looking at the seal at the back, the seam at the back, and I'm going right to the center. I'm just placing it so I know where I want it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of glue, and I've put the glue on, if you've got the holes of the beads, put the glue in the middle right here, not where the hole is, because then the hole will show on the others in the front of the gnome. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue, and you don't need much, a little dab of glue, and then we're going to place it opposite the seam at the back. And I like to kind of tuck it just slightly underneath the hat with the two holes on either side so that we won't be able to see those. So it's tucked right up underneath the hat. We've got the fur coming out all the sides. That just makes it, doesn't it? With the nose. I love them. So this guy has a pink nose. This fellow has a little dull red nose. Anything goes with their nose. All right, so once that's dry, then you get to decorate. And I've used anything from a couple of buttons, and your kits all have a few little things. I've taken felt and cut a little heart and put a heart and a button on this hat. This guy has a couple of buttons on the bottom area, so you don't have to put it in a certain spot. This guy, I had material, and I just cut a little piece of material and put a little bit of material on the hat, and then I put 3 little tiny beads up on the hat. So for this guy, I think what I'm going to do is take some felt, so just a scrap piece of felt, and I'll cut a square, and I'll make it look like a patch on his hat, perhaps. That's fun. And then I have a button, and I thought I had another button here somewhere. Well, we have a little bag of buttons here that I could get a button from. I have a little collection because I do love buttons. Here's a white button, that would be fun. So let's take a white button, and I try and play with this. So I'll just sit with this little guy, and I'll put a button on it, and I'll put a patch, and I'll see what I like. Maybe a red button. No, I don't like that as much. So once I've determined where I would like to put my pattern or my design, I just put a tiny bit of glue on the back of this little patch, this little felt patch, plop it down. And then the button, I also use the hot glue gun, and I put a little bit of glue on here, And then I'm going to put him down where I had determined might look kind of cute. There we go. Now I did put some little toothpicks in your box or in your kit, because I thought if you wanted to sort of press this down, if you wanted to put the glue on the end of this and then put it on a button, sometimes it's much easier just to grab some glue and put it on your button like so. So that's what these are for. And then both of the gnomes, so you've got the pattern for the larger gnome, and then you can go to B, and that's just a slightly smaller hat. And B is a slightly smaller beard to fit inside. So you'll end up with a couple of gnomes. I like the different variety of sizes. So you've got a small one and a large one that you can give as a gift. You can hang on your tree. And hey, did you know that gnomes are good luck? And they have a little bit of protection, supposedly. During history, they were something to protect your area, your home. So people would have gnomes in their houses as a form of protection. And that's why some people have them in gardens, even today, so that they could watch over their garden. So here he is. I've just played with the fur, and I've made a little mustache and a funky little beard. And I could use a little bit of hairspray. I could even maybe twist this. You know how some mustaches are all twisty and fun? That would be fun. There we go. Yeah. So lots of different fun ideas, and you could get really creative with these fellows. So I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoyed this exercise, this little workshop with gnomes, and I hope to see you again. If you have any questions, I do believe my information will be on the website. And I want to thank Amber and the gang for doing this, because we've had lots of fun. And I hope you enjoy your Christmas and your holidays. And thank you so much for doing this. Bye. Okay. Oh, are you there, Amber? Okay, I'm going to leave. Thank you. Thank you for editing this too, whoever's editing it. Thanks, Amber. Bye.